Yet now that you've had the first press conference?
Yeah, it's an exciting time. This is the fight we wanted, and I think Kev said before, we want to fight this guy at some stage, but when we do fight him, it's going to have to mean something. So it's this fight means a lot. There's 3 titles on the line, and we're both undefeated. So it's a fight that we're looking forward to having, and we're excited about.
Yeah, it seems like timing is everything, because you talked about this a year ago, they were talking about it, 2 years ago they were talking about it, but he wasn't even a champion a couple years ago, and you didn't have your belt yet. So how much bigger do you think the fight is this time versus if it would have happened a couple years ago?
I think the fight now, it's a big fight, and it's happened at the right time. We're both undefeated, we both have titles. And back then, if we fought, it wouldn't have meant anything. But now it means something, and it's we're both driven and motivated to win this fight. We both want it real bad.
And the odds makers are making the fight in his favor. Obviously, he's the home fighter. He's got more belts. Does that give you more motivation, knowing that you're the underdog for the first time? And
a lot of people
probably ever
ruled me out and say that he's already won the fight. But it is extra motivation and drive to put everything in training and come out as the champion that I am. Put on a great show, put a great fight, and come out victorious. That's what we want.
I know we're here in Las Vegas, but what is the buzz like back in New Zealand for this fight? I know we're still a little ways out, but this is the biggest fight ever with the fighter from New Zealand.
I think when the fight was announced, there was a big buzz in New Zealand. A lot of people looking at the fights. One of the biggest fights New Zealand has been involved in. Probably the last big time that New Zealand was sort of involved in boxing was when David Tua was on the scene. But now we have the opportunity to fight for to unify the belt. So I think the buzz back home is pretty big, and I think closer to the fight will get even bigger.
And what do you think of just Joshua's mindset? It seems like you guys have gotten under his skin a little bit in the lead up to this fight.
I think he doesn't take criticism that well. I think we did get under his skin. Our team sort of said a few things which got him a bit upset and angry. But I think when we met, there's a lot of respect. He's a respectable guy and he's a gentleman, and there's a lot to like about him. But when we get in the ring, it's going to be business.
And like you've said, like a lot of people said, it's the chin that question. How do you think he's going to react the first time you hit him flush?
I mean, you can never tell. You can never sort of say how they're going to react. He showed a lot of courage in that Klitschko fight. Got up off the ground, so that he's got a heart of a champion. But I'm going to bring a different style and different sort of game plan, which we think will give him a lot of trouble.
Because some people think that Klitschko might have kind of let him off the hook.